Hello, artists. You have a new project. Can I get a woo woo? No? Okay. No. I hope some of you give me a woo woo. Okay, so we are going to be making abstract art today. So abstract art is art that you can't necessarily tell what it's supposed to be, but it still affects you when you look at it because it's beautiful or it tells a story, but just not in a really obvious kind of way. So let me show you a couple examples. So here is an example of the ones that I did with the kindergartners and first graders. So we just are using shapes to create art instead of drawing something realistic or making something realistic. So this is what we're going for today. I mean, you don't have to do this one, but this is kind of the one that I've planned for you. See how we're going to use all those different shapes? And then this is one that I planned for my older classes, but you are welcome to choose which one you would like to do. Okay? So before we get started, you need to know as an artist, you can make art with anything. So just because we don't have the art room right now, I did bring Mona Lisa back from the art room though. She's so glad to see you. You still can make art just with stuff that you have at home. So you are gonna go on a little bit of a treasure hunt, okay? And you are gonna find different things around your house that you think have cool shapes. You might need to take some time and kind of look at these things and see. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So this, perfect circle. So with this shape, I was able to create this whole artwork just by tracing this shape over and over on my paper and then coloring inside the shapes that it left in between. Okay, so some other cool things that I found for this one, believe it or not, I traced my ruler in different shapes, in different places over my paper. I also used, I threw it away, but I used my old box of mac and cheese, made a big old rectangle, and then I had a little box of jelly beans that I traced around. So you are gonna go find, you can either use one item or two items, however you want to do it, but you're going to find a couple of things or just even one thing that you think has a very interesting or cool shape that would make a very cool abstract piece, and you're going to bring it back to the table. You're going to bring some paper, you're going to get pencil, crayons, markers, whatever it is that you want to use or what you have to use to make yours. Now before you go on your treasure hunt, let me show you a couple more examples. They don't have to be perfect shapes. For this one, I used a nutcracker. Like usually I see these and don't even know what to do with them because I don't eat nuts with shells on them. I buy mine with the shells off because, hey, that's easier. But look how cool, like look at all the shapes that you can get. I loved this shape in here. I thought that was super cool, and I loved how you could manipulate it to change the shape. So this one was a keeper for me. I found this thing. I thought this was a fun shape. You could trace that and make different patterns out of that. I found this little pencil sharpener. I liked how it has a trapezoid shape on the end. I found chip clip. Make some cool shapes because you can get shapes from this side and this side, and you can even open it and create a new shape like that. And then I found this thing. Just even little things like this can make really cool art projects. Can you imagine tracing like a circle and then tracing these all around and making a flower? So I just want you to go on a treasure hunt with an open mind and fresh eyes and look for things that would make really cool shapes and then bring them back and we'll get going. Okay, I went on another little treasure hunt and I found a couple other cool things. So I want you to get all the stuff that you found from your treasure hunt. Maybe you only found one thing, that's okay. But just look at it. I found this thing. It goes to a marble run. And I just really liked this shape on the bottom. I thought that would make some cool art. And then I found this little mini Bop It. And I thought that might be cool too. So here's the thing. You're the boss of your artwork. So you're going to look at all the things that you found on your treasure hunt, and you're going to decide, okay, do I just want to trace all of them and see what happens? Do I want to just choose a couple things and see what happens? It's up to you. I mean, if you have more than one piece of paper, why not try a couple different things, right? You can try different mixtures together. So, I mean, even just doing one of these things by itself over and over, creating different shapes, I think would be super cool. So that is totally up to you. So you can do what I did here and just take the same shape and just overlap it like that and then color in the in-between. Or you can do something more like this one where you just do different shapes that do not overlap. And that also creates a very interesting piece of abstract art. Okay, so for this, I think I might just pick a couple. I don't know. But the one that keeps calling my name is this Baba game. So I'm going to start with that one. So I'm just going to put it on my paper. And then I'm using a black permanent marker just so you guys can see. You guys might want to start with pencil first. So just in case you make a mistake, you can just quickly fix it, right? So all I'm going to do is hold my object very steady, and then I'm going to bring my marker around the outside of it. Now, depending on what object you chose, this might be a little bit tricky, like this Bop It thing. It wants to play. So, okay, so look at this shape. I love that. And then look, it even looks like someone like sitting down. Like there's the head, there's his belly. I could draw a chair under him. Like, this is your art. You're going to decide what you want to do with the outlines of your shapes. I am going to continue with my original idea, and I am just going to trace this a couple times and then see what I feel like doing after that. And you guys will learn to do that too. After you create your shape, you'll take a step back and kind of look at it, evaluate it, and decide, okay, well, now what? Okay? Now, I think I'm going to do one going up this way. So I turn the whole thing around, and I'm just going to go up like this. And I might kind of just look at it and see how many times I can fit this little bugger on this paper. That's one way I could do it, right? Okay. So, I actually think that's pretty cool. And I don't think I'm going to overlap anything on this part yet, because I think that looks cool the way it is. Now, the other shape that I've been wanting to try is this cool one right here. So this, I think I already told you what this was. This comes from some measuring spoons. It's a plastic thing that the measuring spoons come on. But I don't keep mine on there because I'm not that organized, but that's okay. So I might take this one and I might use the inside of it to create a shape, and I think it would be cool to use the outside as well. That's a little more tricky actually. See how I get two different shapes from one object. And I could even just take this and be like, hey, maybe I just want this part of the shape somewhere, right? And I could do that as well. Oops, I didn't hold on tight enough. And then I could just finish it off myself, right? So this is where you get those creative brains of yours going, and you practice and you try things, and then you stop and you look back and go, huh, all right, what else could I add? Okay. Now, the other fun thing is when you're all done with your shapes, you kind of just get to look at it and be like, do I want to color this? Or should I leave it black and white? Or you could color it all full, or on this one I just left it black and white. I thought about coloring it, but I really, really liked how it looked black and white. The other thing I thought about doing was within all of these shapes is to create some additional shapes. So, for example, let's see, I feel like I need to use this little guy a couple more times because I was so excited about finding it. I don't want to like let myself down with excitement. Okay, so within these shapes, you can make more shapes to create even more lines and dimension. So for example, like in this one, I could just come in and around and just keep following that line and give it kind of a three-dimensional look. See what I'm saying? So that's going to be for you to decide, how do you want to finish your piece? How do you want to finish your art? Because this goes on your wall, not mine. But I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. So when you do finish this, I hope that you guys will either email your teacher a picture of your finished project, or if you have my email, I hope you email me so I can see what's going on and what you guys are creating. But this is just really fun. It kind of just lets your brain kind of go to a creative space, and also it goes into a really relaxing space. So I am not going to sit and finish mine in front of you because that would be boring for you. I will finish my own later. I think you guys would rather just get to creating your own piece. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a really good time creating your abstract art. And again, when you finish it, I would love to see it if you can, and if not, that's okay. I hope you guys have a really good day and have a fun time creating this piece. Bye!